Welcome back to Two Marks and a Spark. We got a jam-packed show for you, 2 nights of SummerSlam, and a headline that I think unless you live under a rock, you've seen by now. Um, Russ, let's address the elephant in the room. We'll go back to the top of the card here in a second, but hard to stray away from it. It would appear that Brock Lesnar is back.
Yeah, I've spent probably every day in the last week or so reading articles online from reputable sources, usually reputable sources, that there's no way Brock Lesnar will be returning, that he was allegedly on a list of people that
No, that
TKO.
was not allegedly.
That
Daniel
was
Cormier said it publicly. Daniel
okay.
Cormier was in an interview and somebody asked him about Brock Lesnar, and he's like, that dude's never fucking coming back. He's on the TKO ban list.
All right,
He
well,
said that a week ago.
something is there has been some development that took everybody surprise. This was a weekend of a lot of surprises and people being worked.
And we're going to talk about that. But here's
Right.
what I can tell you. Everybody I've talked to had no fucking idea what was going on. For the record, there are people fucking pissed right now. Because there are a lot of people that never wanted Brock to come back, that thought Brock was a Vince guy through and through, and they didn't want him there. I have no credible information as to what happened. I do know he is not a defendant in the lawsuit. He is named in it, but he is not a defendant in the
Correct.
lawsuit. He is not a part of the lawsuit. He is a part of the lawsuit, but it's in a very complicated, like, third party kind of way.
Yes, he's not being directly charged with anything.
Right.
He is being named as one of the witnesses or, witnesses to other parties and what went on.
Right. So, do I think they should have brought Brock Lesnar back? No.
No, I don't think it's a good idea under the circumstances, you know.
Russ, if you were running this company and somebody called you and said, "Hey, do you want to bring Brock Lesnar back?"
Not at this time, no.
The dude's
I, I,
fucking nuclear.
I wouldn't say never because things could change, you know. By the end of that his day in court, he could be exonerated. But I wouldn't want to take the risk on it because right now, uh, you know the the reaction is so swift, you know, against people being upset. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people by tomorrow night ready to hang somebody.
Okay, I want to point something out. WWE discontinued their press conferences out of nowhere yesterday. Like, they were going to do a press conference yesterday, and then they weren't.
You're not
Without
talking
warning.
about their normal post and pregame
No, no,
shows,
no, 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 no. I'm talking about the press conferences they usually do.
right?
They canceled or just didn't do a press conference yesterday without warning. Multiple media members got an email during the show that there would be no press conferences going forward for both this show and future premium live events.
Okay. Well,
This was news to everybody plus yesterday.
what do you think is going on there?
I'll tell you what I think happened. They figured it out with Lesnar, whatever it was. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't have any explanation for it. But what I think happened is this. They figured it out with Lesnar. They got pen to paper with Lesnar and decided they didn't want to answer any hard questions. So they just pulled the press conference for both nights. Now, Do I think that was the right move at all? No. I look, this whole thing is a bad idea from beginning to end.
Well, I can understand some of the other wrestlers not being happy about it too, because now Brock Lesnar is the talk, and it kind of is overshadowing the matches that we saw and the other things that happened.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing is aside from pacing issues, there really wasn't like an outright bad match on this show either
No,
night.
no, both of the nights were paced too slow. It's not
But
so much about the length of the show as about how it's paced, because there's been AEW shows that ran longer but that felt shorter because they were paced quicker.
all
Uh,
in.
AEW, to me, their entrances are too long. There's too much filler in between matches, and it just makes for
You mean
unnecessarily lengthy.
WWE?
We could get some more matches in there.
I it is so odd that last month AEW ran an 8-hour show and this felt longer somehow,
Yes,
especially last night. Last night, especially, was a 3-hour show that felt like nine. I mean, it went on forever.
right. And it was
Like,
only about 3.25 hours. Yeah,
yeah. Russ, let's get into our full SummerSlam review here. We'll start with
sure.
night one. Uh, they opened with what I thought was going to main event night one and why would make sense later. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. This match had some scary moments to it. I mean, this match was terrifying in a couple
This was
spots.
very well done. Yeah, it was good.
No, it was very well done, but Roman at one point goes to do a dive and he completely overshoots everybody. And Jey Uso, by the time he gets to the ring, is so blown up. He literally looks in the camera and says, "Fuck, I'm tired."
Yeah.
This thing was a disaster for 7 minutes. I mean, really. Because they play Jay's music again. Roman gets the shit kicked out of him. Jay is isolated for 10 minutes. And it's just heat. I hope you like heat, brother, because we got a lot of
Roman
heat.
Reigns and Jey Uso may have won, but they didn't really look that great coming out of this match.
No, and I'm surprised Jay got the pin. Uh, I thought the best part of this match was the last 5 minutes. Braun Breaker did whack his knee off the announce table on another dive spot. That looked gnarly. Sounds like he's a little
Yes,
banged up.
yes, he was limping a little bit after the show.
He
Well,
was
I think
helped to the
that was
back.
legit.
I don't know anything, but I know he was helped to the back. That looked gnarly. Yeah, Roman and Jay get the win. Jay gets the pin. And Roman Reigns got out of there about as quick as he could.
Yes, they did.
Uh, we then had the Judgment Day, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. This match was the worst match on either night, and it wasn't close. I I have nothing good to say about this match outside of the last 5 minutes when they finally put Alexa in there. It is becoming abundantly clear that the reason they put these two together is they were gone for similar amounts of time. Alexa has completely knocked the ring rust off. Charlotte has not.
Right. Plus the fact that it took pairing Charlotte with Alexa for her to get a positive response from the crowd.
But
Uh, it's the first time she's gotten anything but heat.
and what's so funny is Alexa is so over, and Alexa's always been good in the ring. Like that's never been a question. She's always been good. Do I think she's better than Bailey or Becky Lynch or you know to some level Lyra Valkyria? No, and she's definitely not better than like Rhea Ripley or Stephanie McCurry. But she's good, and a lot of people would say Charlotte is better, and I think psychologically she probably does have it a little bit more than Alexa does. But Charlotte's been having a hard time putting it together. I thought her match at Mania was really rough. And this match, whenever Charlotte was in there, was incredibly bad. And then Alexa gets in there and carries the last 5 minutes and gets the pin.
You got the pin on Roxanne.
I was surprised that Roxanne ate the pin. I was surprised that either of them ate the pin. I was surprised Judgment Day lost this match.
I expected them to retain the title also.
Well, I thought if they were going to lose, it would be Raquel eating the pin. Or, yeah, Raquel eating the pin. Because they're going to push Roxanne. It's very clear they're getting ready to push Roxanne. So, like, why are you pinning her? That didn't make a whole ton of sense. And then we had what I'm calling the funeral of Karrion Kross.
I did not understand why they did this.
This
They,
match,
I felt like this was just another match that we've seen before, and a storyline that is not paying off and not going anywhere.
this
Plus the
felt like
fact that Karrion Kross is just not getting the push that the fans want.
this felt like the end of Karrion Kross.
Yeah, it could be. I wonder if he has decided to go elsewhere.
This match was 8 minutes, and I think Kross got 2 minutes of offense. Like true offense. Like they were back and forth for a while, but like purely Kross on the offensive, it was about 2 minutes.
This is very confusing to me, the way in which they have been handling his matches in the last year or so.
It
He,
doesn't make
he
any.
seems on the verge of a push that never happens.
It feels like he's there, you know. I don't know. And then a match that me and you had zero expectation for that over delivered in every way.
Yes, and I will give them both credit. This was
And
better than I thought it would be.
everybody's gonna say, oh, it was only 7 minutes.
Now,
It is
7 minutes was enough.
7 minutes was enough. Stratton
I don't
gets the
want Jade
win.
Cargill to have a match longer than 7 minutes.
Goldberg. She needs to be Goldberg. No
There
more
you
than five
go.
minutes. Like
But also, I think that what is going to come out of this, Triple H, I think, may have obliquely kind of hinted at it during one of his statements last night on the post show, but about how Jade is getting an attitude backstage and the way she interacts, hinting at the possible heel turn for her, which may benefit her.
it would make a ton of sense.
Yes, it would.
The
And
other part
I
is that
remember from her AEW work, I just think she's more convincing. She sounds more believable as a heel.
you know who they should go get when his contract's up?
Was
They should
that?
just go get Stokely Hathaway and just run that whole thing back.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because that worked. When she was with
Big,
Stokely in
Big
AEW,
Stoke.
when she was with Stokely in AEW, though, that worked. If I'm WWE, I am figuring out when Stokely's contract is up and doing everything I can to get him. Because Jade isn't good on the mic. And Stokely can talk better than just about anybody. Because you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
putting her. No, the alternative idea, and I don't hate this either, is put her in the Heyman faction. Have her be the female in the Heyman deal.
That could
That
be.
isn't that isn't the worst idea, I don't think.
She could be kind of like China was for
Yeah,
the
but Jade's better
the.
than China was. I like by a million miles. Like Jade's better than that.
I think China got much better toward the end, though.
What, the last year? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think by the time she was wrestling Jericho, she was pretty good.
yeah. I think that by the time she got really good, she had other problems that kind of derailed her career. Unfortunately, that's a whole other story. But
And then we had a match that I was prepared to hate. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre.
we were
Brother,
both thinking they would have to give the pin to Jelly Roll to get him over with the crowd, but instead, what happened was Jelly Roll basically took bumps and got the shit kicked out of him for the most part.
this match was 17 minutes. 13 of it was Jelly Roll bumping
Yeah,
and
and
selling.
I'll give the guy credit. He's a lot tougher than I thought he was.
This motherfucker can sell. It,
Yes.
he is like
And
Dolph
I think it's
Ziggler.
I think it's probably easy to sell when you actually probably really do have some real pain. And I think he most definitely did.
Okay, so there, I'm going to set this up. At one point during what I can only describe as this was essentially Paul, anytime Orton would get up for brief periods, Orton would go after McIntyre and Paul. They would double team him, beat him down, go back after Jelly Roll. Is essentially what they would do. They just isolated Jelly Roll. That was
Yeah.
their whole, and that made a ton of sense. Psychologically, this
Yeah.
match was well done because it was clear what the idea was. We're going to beat the fuck out of Orton. We're going to 2-on-1 him. McIntyre is fucking huge, and Logan Paul is fast. Jelly Roll is a big guy, but he ain't that fast.
Right.
And Orton isn't as fast as he used to be. So they were like, well, fuck it. We're just going to beat the shit out of him. And they pretty much did. And at one point, Logan Paul does a frog splash off the top rope to the announce table. Now, this is a spot that I don't think I've ever, this is a bump I don't think I've ever seen a celebrity take.
Right. Exactly. I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Now, the closest they ever got was Bad Bunny took a choke slam from Damian Priest through the announce table to set up their match at Backlash a couple of years ago. But this is a spot that, like, if you see this in a celebrity match, it's usually whoever they're tagging with takes that bump.
Right. Jelly Roll took most of the bumps for this match for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious as to, and then Jelly Roll is the one that takes the pin as well as McIntyre and Paul get the win. Jelly Roll gets pinned. This is the only time I can remember where they've had a celebrity in a tag match, and the celebrity is the one that eats the pin. I
Right.
don't remember that ever happening. Do you? Has that
No.
ever happened? Shit, Bad Bunny won all of his matches when he was there, right?
Yes.
Like, he beat Damian Priest for fuck's sake. Now, I actually think Damian Priest got more out of that than people. I think without that Bad Bunny match, I'm not sure Damian Priest ever wins the Money in the Bank or the title, even though his title reign was very transitional in terms of everything. But we then get to the main event. Russ, I want your opinion on the main event first. It was Gunther versus CM Punk.
I thought it was good. It was easily the best show, the best match of the show.
This first night, yes.
Yes, it was easily. It was a very, very well done match. Uh, I liked the whole thing. I liked the surprise that we got at the end, the finish. We got worked. We got swerved. Boy, did we ever.
And let's talk about it. Okay, so this match was 30 minutes, and people are bitching that it was too long. But when you
No,
consider the angle at the end, it kind of needed to be too long because both guys needed to look like they were dead. And they
exactly.
did. So this match was about 20 minutes of Gunther just absolutely pummeling Punk everywhere but out of the ring.
Right,
They don't leave they leave the ring once and it's to do a blade and it's for Gunther to do a blade spot.
right.
And Gunther gets tossed over the announce table, does the blade spot, comes back. He is bleeding like I don't know if he overbladed or what, but he was
Yeah.
bleeding
Oh, he was talking about a
everywhere.
crimson mask. It was bad.
This was the most color I've seen on WWE television in a decade. I mean,
Yeah.
this was like more than CM Punk got inside the Hell in a Cell last year. Way more than that. Like, this was crazy.
Yeah,
And
he was a real gusher.
Gunther wouldn't stay down. Punk wouldn't stay down. Finally, Punk catches him with a go to sleep. One, two, three. Punk wins. I was initially happy and I was like, okay, this makes sense. They needed to do something with Punk. They needed to go somewhere with this.
Well, I think with that, I know now where they're going. It's not what I expected.
And then all of a sudden, Seth fucking Rollins music hits. And I'm thinking, what? And I thought it was just going to be Heyman. I don't know about you, but I thought it'd just be Heyman. And I thought
Sure.
Heyman had come out there and like do his little wave and taunt him. But no, here comes Seth on crutches and Paul Heyman holding the briefcase. And Punk stands there, and Punk looks like he's about to fall over dead because he's exhausted. I mean, he is fucking exhausted and barely got out of there with a win. He escaped Gunther. I would not describe what Punk did last night as a win. I would describe it as he got out of there with his life.
Yeah,
Like that's what happened.
sure.
Anyway, Seth stands there, doesn't really do anything, turns around to leave, does the most dramatic drop of the crutches I've ever seen in my life. Takes the knee brace off, takes his coat off, grabs the briefcase, runs down to the ring, just about runs Jessica Carr over in trying to get her into the ring. Like, seriously, I thought he was going to run her over on his way down there
Yeah.
because he was going so fast. I was like, watch out for the ref, dude. You're literally about to screw yourself here. Uh, anyway, before the bell even rings, before he even officially cashes in, several shots to the head with the briefcase to Punk.
All
Punk
legal.
Punk goes to get up. Seth hits the curb stomp. One, two, three. The match itself was all of about 10 seconds.
Right.
And Seth Rollins, for the second time in his career, cashes in Money in the Bank in what will be considered an all-time cash in. Um, this was shades of WrestleMania 31 in so many ways.
Yes, it was. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
And then he does the title twirl at the top of the ramp. And that was
Well,
that.
he's fooled everybody because he was very old school, apparently, and in public, he used the crutches. He acted
Okay,
as though he
can I
was
tell
in.
you how kayfabe he did this?
Yeah,
He had a guest host spot on the Rich Eisen show, like right after the injury, like the 3 days after he got hurt, right?
yeah,
He showed up to this thing on crutches in a knee brace, and he sold it like he was legitimately seriously injured for the whole show.
yeah.
Oh, everybody on the Rich Eisen show sold it like he was legitimately injured. So either they didn't know or they knew and are just really good at acting.
Exactly.
A masterfully done angle. We all got fucking worked. I mean,
We
really. I
did.
know a lot of people I know a lot of people were saying that this was a work the whole time, but like most people didn't believe that.
I didn't think it was, but yeah, very well done. Very well done. I got to give him credit. Did not see this coming. I like being worked like that. So that made for an interesting first night.
Um anyway, Seth celebrates with the title. They do him and Paul do the Titanic pose. It, I'm not did you see that by the way? I'm not kidding. Paula Heyman and they did the Jack and Rose Titanic pose. Anyway,
I saw it. Yeah, I did see that.
it was hilarious. Anyway, night 2.
Yeah, tonight.
Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Naomi for the women's world title. I thought this match was fucking excellent.
I enjoyed it. They all three did really, really well. This was a great surprise finish. It was well done.
This match goes about 16 minutes. Honestly, I would have been okay if this match went 25 minutes. Would you have complained if this match was 25 minutes?
No, no.
You'd have been like, that's fine. You're good with that. We then, and Naomi
Naomi
gets the win
retains, and she's the one that rolled up Rhea Ripley.
Rhea
And
hits a riptide.
yep. All right. Hey, and then we had two old time teams, tag teams show up next.
And then we get the Dudleys in the crowd as well as the Hardys who are dressed in full WWE merch. I thought that was hilarious. They work for Glory
Apparently, they're going to be having a match in TNA.
at Bound for Glory. It's not going to be any good. I wouldn't.
I didn't think Devon could work anymore. I hope he doesn't screw himself up.
Anyway, we then had the six pack TLC match. This was fucking great. This was incredible. This was
Six teams.
old school TLC is what this was. There was crazy bumps all over the place. Candice LeRae absolutely carried to the middle part of this match. She comes out
Right.
and
There
she's
were
trying to
several
help.
women, her and B-Fab and Nikki
Yes, but
Cross.
I think we can agree Candice LeRae was the MVP here because she took the wickedest freaking ladder bump you've ever
She
seen in
probably
your
took the
life.
worst bump of anybody in the whole match, and she wasn't even officially in the match.
This was great. The Wyatt Six do retain, which is the downside. But holy shit, this match was awesome.
I thought there for a minute, it really looked to me like they were going to put the tag team belts on Fraxium.
I wish they would have.
You know what I mean? It felt really close, didn't it?
Yeah. And Firaxium is getting really over. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it soon. Speaking of funerals, the end of this next match felt like one. Uh, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. This match was 25 minutes, and I think it had about 2 minutes that weren't incredible.
Uh, yeah, this was a pretty well done match overall. It was 25 minutes. Didn't seem that long.
Okay, they screwed this thing up though. Can I tell you how they screwed it up?
Uh-huh.
First of all, they should not have put this immediately after the TLC match because the TLC match was just bonkers and the crowd was dead.
Yeah.
They probably could have done Dominic and AJ there. Or for as lame as Solo and Jacob was, they could have done that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
That was a disappointment.
Anyway, the end of the match comes when Bayley interferes. She tries to help Lyra, and they do the same spot they've been doing for 70 freaking years. Bayley goes to hit Becky, hits Lyra, manhandle slam. Becky wins. Russ, what do you think of Becky's new music? I actually like it.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know a
Uh,
lot of people are shitting on it, but it's like, you ever noticed wrestling fans are really averse to change? You ever notice that?
they're deeply conservative and set in their ways, aren't they?
Yeah. In almost a concerning way.
Yeah.
We then had the dud of both nights, I think. Solo Sokoa and Jacob Fatu. I thought this was going to be incredible. It
No,
was fine.
fell flat.
It
The expectations were high. The execution just, I felt, I'm not knocking them. I mean, they're great workers. I just, whole thing felt a little underwhelming to me. I am not, to be honest with you, I'm not exceptionally uh, excited about this new bloodline. They've got a lot of great workers there. They even brought in a fellow that's 7 foot tall, but even so, uh, the whole thing just seems to be lacking. in
Well, it's
direction
all
and
getting
identity to me.
overshadowed by how over Jacob Fatu is. Jacob Fatu is ridiculously over, and that is not helping Solo in the bloodline. But Solo
No,
gets the win when he escapes the cage. This was lame. I saw it coming once they did the handcuff spot.
yeah, this was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
We then had a really fun 10-minute match between AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio that ended exactly how you think it did.
yep, it was good. It was short. It was sweet. It was to the point. It was like a little mini classic. Uh, they could have gone a little longer. Wouldn't have bothered me a bit.
Um, yeah, they definitely could have gone a little longer here. And then we had John Cena's best match in years. Cody Rhodes
Well,
versus John Cena for
following
the
up to, we did mention on a Friday night
yeah.
on SmackDown, we went through what I guess is supposed to be Cena's babyface turn.
Can I tell you why that happened?
Yeah,
And
because
it's not Brock Lesnar.
it just doesn't feel right.
Okay. They contemplated doing it right after Night of Champions, but decided to hold off because they weren't sure. But they were gauging reception online and in the building, and they just decided it wasn't working. And rather than trying to force it some more and force it again, they just pulled the plug. And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, it was rushed.
It definitely feels like it just kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah,
And
it did.
I kind of expect, you mentioned the possibility of a double turn. I was kind of expecting that. I thought it would be a good, I've been saying now that Cody Rhodes isn't going to turn the heel, not for a long time, but you had me talked into it. I was thinking, yeah, that's going to happen. Nope. Nothing but
Well,
smiles and hugs and good feelings afterward.
anyway, these two had an incredible match.
It was good.
Truly incredible match. 38 minutes almost, these two are in the ring.
What about a half
And
hour later than they did last night?
and again, Cena's best match in years. It ends with a triple crossroads. And Cody Rhodes is once again the WWE champion.
Yes.
Russ, I know you're not looking forward to another Cody run any more than I am.
Well, it just depends on it could this one could be better than the last one.
I thought the end of the Cody run was good, like the stuff he did with Kevin Owens and stuff like that.
But Kevin Owens is still hurt, I believe.
Can I pitch WrestleMania 42's main event to you? What I think it should be?
Yeah.
I think Roman Reigns should win the Royal Rumble. And I think it should be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 3 at WrestleMania.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens in the meantime.
What would
The Royal
okay,
Rumble, I believe, next year is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
which probably means Brock Lesnar is going to win it. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah,
Brock
that's
Lesnar is
that's
probably
a
winning the Royal
terrible
Rumble.
thought, isn't it?
I just thought about that. That's the first time I've thought about that. Oh God. Maybe that's why they did this. Oh God. Anyway, so Cody wins. They have this nice moment. Cody leaves and gives Cena the ring.
And then what happens?
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like a
There you,
wet fucking fart.
yep. There's
Now,
Brock Lesnar.
It is worth noting there was a loud reaction. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if it was cheering, booing, exasperation,
Yeah.
shock. I think a lot of the reaction was legitimate shock. Like, what? Michael Cole said it best, and Cole didn't say a whole lot here, but Cole said it best when he said, "Holy shit."
Yeah. Didn't know what to think about that, I tell you.
And Brock Lesnar with the biggest farmer's tan you've seen in your fucking life. Looks like he hasn't left the farm since the last time we saw him.
Yeah. Yep.
Am I wrong?
I hear you. Yep.
Looks like he hasn't left his farm in years. Anyway, here he comes in the cowboy hat and the flannel and all the junk. And I am sitting there watching this in fucking utter disbelief, thinking I am fucking hallucinating. I legitimately thought I fell asleep during the show and this was some sort of fucking
Yeah. I didn't know what to
nightmare.
think. Just the last thing I expected.
Were you also thinking I fucking have to be asleep?
Yeah, I
I
thought this.
I passed out. What happened?
I just didn't understand what was going on because, like I said, I read from what I consider to be reliable sources that there's no way that this could happen.
Well, Daniel Cormier said it. Like,
Yep.
anyway, Brock comes out. Cena looks like he's gonna shit himself, probably because he was. Uh, Brock does the Brock thing where he paces around the ring,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, dude, we all know what you're gonna do. Fucking get on with it. Kill him already. And he does. He hits the F5 and he leaves. And I can almost guarantee you Brock Lesnar made $2 million tonight. Do you know why? Because he showed up for work.
Right.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could get $2 million just for showing up?
Oh yeah. I'm not worth 2 million.
Well, neither am I. Russ, let's talk about this from the wrestling perspective, and then let's talk about this from the why this is a horrible, bad idea, messy shit. From a booking perspective, if you take everything else out of it, from a purely booking perspective, and we will talk about the other stuff, but from a purely booking perspective, this makes complete sense.
Yeah.
These two have been rivals forever. They're both at the end of their career. This made complete and total sense from a purely storyline perspective.
They made money before, so they're assuming they will again.
Now, let's talk about the other side. Brock Lesnar is named in a lawsuit that is
Right.
very, very bad. It's a bad look for him and for everybody involved. Brock Lesnar has not been seen in 2 years.
2 years since SummerSlam, correct?
And nobody has really talked to him since then either. The last time anybody saw him was SummerSlam in Detroit. And he went home after that, pretty much knowing he was done. And he probably wasn't coming back. I will tell you, this was on nobody's radar. Sean Ross Sapp said that. I'm saying that I knew nothing about this. Nobody I talked to knew anything about this. There are people incredibly upset right now, backstage, that are furious
Yeah.
that this went down the way it did. Now, counterpoint. There was a better way for WWE to do this. The better way to do this would have been do a press conference, right? During the day, preferably, and say, we are cooperating with Janelle Grant and her attorneys. We hope to bring closure to this case as quickly and as justly as possible. And it would basically be a fuck you Vince statement, but in legalese, you get my point. And then have Brock Lesnar do the same thing through his attorneys. And then you wait 6 months.
Sure.
And Brock Lesnar should issue a public apology. Brock Lesnar probably shouldn't have been brought back. Even if you do all of this, I still don't think I bring Brock back. But at this point, for them to bring Brock Lesnar back right now, right as Vince McMahon gets in that horrible car accident and looks like he's going to get charged for his involvement right now, right as all that is happening. And maybe that's a part of this. Maybe they think, well, Vince fucked up again and Brock hasn't. And maybe that is legitimately their thinking. I think that is a stupid, horrible line of thinking that just doesn't work. But maybe that is their line of thinking. I can see how they would get there. I don't agree with it, but I see how they could get there. Russ, what is your opinion first on the booking side of this and then on everything else?
Booking, I guess it makes sense because they could probably make some money. Personally, I'm not excited about it. I, I just, I was fine with never seeing Brock Lesnar wrestle again. I guess we'll see what happens. It's really too early to tell exactly. Overall, it just doesn't feel good.
This show ended on a real down.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it ended the whole weekend on a downer.
and I don't, I legitimately think that they were trying to shock people and whoa, the surprise of it was going to carry the reaction here.
Oh, I'm sure there's some people very excited about it.
Look, before all of this came out, I was the biggest Brock Lesnar mark. And even I sat there and said, what the fuck are they doing? Now, do I think we're going to get some good TV out of this? Probably. Do I think
I'm sure we'll get some good matches, yes.
now, my question is, do you think this goes beyond a program with Cena? Because
Yeah. Because Cena, he's got about just a couple
12
more
dates.
months.
He's got 12 dates left.
12 dates?
He had 13 going into tonight. Now he's got 12. I think there is every chance that they brought Brock back just for this, just to do this program and then he's gone again. But that is so short sighted. If they did
Yeah.
it just for this, that is so short sighted and so stupid.
Well,
This is short
they
sighted.
got to be doing something more than just that. Yeah.
This is short sighted anyway. Like the best excuse you can come up with for them is Brock Lesnar is flipping on Vince completely in the lawsuit and is providing evidence to the plaintiff and all that. That is
Yeah.
the best case you can make
Right.
for this. And that is still a weak argument. And by the
Yeah.
way, to tell you just how like no-go Brock Lesnar has been for the last 2 years. His contract expired at some point. I don't know exactly when. It was a while ago. His contract was up. Do you not think in any other circumstance, if Brock Lesnar's contract just expired, that Tony Khan is not going to just jump fucking all over that
Yeah.
like a kid in a fucking bouncy house
All right.
in any other circumstance? And he's going to bring Brock out there and it's going to be this crazy fucking deal. And they would have done him and Moxley for fucking 18 matches.
Yeah.
But not a whisper, not a peep of that
Right.
ever happening. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Like this is this feels bad. Like this feels like a Vince move.
Right.
Am I wrong?
No, I know. I just don't know what they're going to do. I can't imagine where this is going to go. I'm anxious to see what they'll do on Raw tomorrow night if he's going to be on that show.
Like they're not going to get good press out of this. They
Probably
think they're
not.
going to, but they think they are. That's the thing. Like WWE is that crazy. They think they're going to get good press out of this deal.
We'll see how things react, First of all, initially, it doesn't seem to be too positive.
That this is, I'm not too high on it. I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
All right, Russ, what would you give SummerSlam Night 1 for a grade? Night 1 only for right now.
That one only, I'd give it a B minus,
And then Night 2.
C plus.
How many points did you take off for Brock Lesnar running out there at the end?
Quite a few there, yeah.
Okay. I had a similar thing here. I went with a C for Night 1. The pre Brock Lesnar penalty, like before the Brock Lesnar penalty, Night 2
Right.
was sitting at an A. I have knocked it all the way down to a C.
Yeah,
Like the Brock Lesnar penalty is stiff here. SummerSlam was
absolutely.
a SummerSlam was a good show, hampered by a terrible decision.
Yeah,
That is the best I can tell you. The two matches I recommend you watch off night one are probably Punk and Gunther and the tag match, probably
yeah,
the Roman and Uso tag match. And then off night two, probably the women's triple threat and
yeah.
the main event. And Becky and Lyra as well. So, like, there's a lot of good matches on this show. And if somehow you can parse this whole thing, and I know a lot of people are going to struggle with that, I certainly am.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? This feels like such a step in the wrong direction.
Just, I agree. It, yeah, I'm
This feels like
disappointed.
17 steps back in like the wrong way. I can't. It's been almost an hour and a half since Brock Lesnar's music hit, and I don't think either one of us have fully
No.
digested this. Um, Russ, I'm curious as to your thoughts. If you're WWE right now, you got to be in panic mode, right? Seeing the reaction online, seeing how
Well,
negative.
yeah, but they've spent a lot of time this year walking things back and reacting to things. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to try to they're going to sell it like it's the greatest thing that they've done that's happened in years, but we'll wait and see. Well, no. it's kind of like this John Cena heel turn. Usually anymore, if at a certain point they figure out something just isn't going to work, they just pull the plug on it. They might have to
Yeah.
do that with Rock. Yeah.
Um, this is probably like going to be this is the what the fuck were they doing headline of the year. This is the what the hell are you doing? That doesn't make any sense. This felt eerily reminiscent of SummerSlam 2022 when they did the same thing, where Brock came back
Yes. I'd
and
forgotten
attacked
about
Roman
that.
Reigns.
Yeah. That was a big surprise return also. It kind of ended up not really going anywhere.
Oh, they ended up having another match.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was 2021. I think that was 21, actually, not 22.
21. Okay.
It was the one in, where the hell was that? I think it was the one in Nashville. No, the one in Nashville is where they had that crazy last man standing match. Uh, Oh yeah. It was the one in Vegas. It was the one with that crappy Roman Reigns John Cena match early in Roman's run with the title. Um, remember that was the match where they did the stupid gimmick where if Roman lost, he would leave the WWE and never come back. Like, way to give away your finish as if you
Yeah,
hadn't lost.
I do remember that now. Yeah. I never liked stipulations like that because, like I say, they're just too predictable. All right.
Do you want to hear a match that was on this card that will probably give you whiplash? Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie.
Eva Marie, I'd forgotten all about her. Was
They
she
were
the
the second.
redhead? Was she the redhead that
They were they were the second match on the card in SummerSlam in 2021.
no, she wasn't very good as I remember.
She was one of the worst professional wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. I hesitated to call her a professional wrestler. Well, that's gonna about do it for us.
Yes.
Need
She
to get
couldn't
this
have been as
show over
bad
to.
as Outback Jack.
Well, Russ, too
All right.
bad about this weekend, man. This weekend ends on a real downer.
Yeah, I'm disappointed to see a Lesnar back as it was a downer way. I think they were going for a big, strong finish. If most fans are like me, they feel let down and disappointed.
Thank God, though, they brought him back post Money in the Bank because I guarantee you they would have had him win Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably so.
Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for us.
We
We'll be
will
back
be back
here.
next week.
We'll be back here next week, whether or not WWE will still be employing Brock Lesnar at that point. With the reaction I'm seeing on Twitter, who knows? They may pull the plug on this whole fucking thing expeditiously at this point. I wouldn't be that surprised. So,
It wouldn't shock me.
uh,
Well, we'll see what happens. A lot in the world of professional wrestling, a lot can change in a week.
yep. That's why we do this show every week. I'll be interested to see what happens on Raw tomorrow. Um, I think Triple H has some splaining to do, though.
Oh, yeah. Don't look for a straight answer. I'm sure it's going to be a
Political
same-facing
BS.
answer.
Political BS.
Yeah. Speaking of political, that's a whole better thing. Triple H also was in the news, and they mentioned it on the show, meeting with the president.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of wrestling getting involved in politics.
neither am I.
It usually doesn't work out well.
Just
Kind of
ask
like,
Jim Crockett.
kind of like there were on rare occasions when pro wrestling tries to deal with religion. That usually ends up being a disaster, also for both the wrestling and the religion.
Again, just ask Jim Crockett. He did all that.
Yep.
All right,
Well,
folks.
all right, but it was nice to have another SummerSlam bites the dust. And now we're on to something going on in France at the end of next month.
End of this month, Clash in Paris.
End of
Shows
this
are going
month, Clash in Paris. That's in about 3 or 4 weeks.
so allow me to be a little open here and say this. The shows are going to get weird for probably the rest of the month, due to me moving again. We may be late on some pay-per-view reviews
Sure.
towards the end of the month. They will be recorded, they will be put out. I'm just warning everybody, we may not be as expeditious as we normally try to be with everything because
Sure.
I am moving states this time. The last time I moved a mile and a half. This is hundreds of miles, so there is significantly more work to be done. Um,
Yeah, and it's always fun.
that's a word for it.
Yep.
All right, folks. Everybody enjoy what you can of the wrestling. It's probably going to be all AEW that you enjoy for like the next month because WWE looks like they're headed down the tanker.
Well, we'll see if they can correct course.
Look, I thought they were headed down the tank a couple months ago and they corrected course. So anything is possible.
Right.
All right, folks. Everybody enjoy the wrestling. Have a good week. We
Bye
will
bye.
see you in 7 days' time. Damon, play our music. Bye bye.